Okay. Well, right now I'm currently the interim director. I took over in July of the shelter. And basically my job is to oversee the entire operation. I'm going through a complete transition period right now where we're getting rid of a lot of old records and things like that. And we're doing a lot of different things with the animals to make their lives better here as we go through trying to get them adopted, rescued, fostered, or any of those things.
Okay, tell me about what this place was like before.
Unfortunately, we had a horrible reputation here, all right, and the reputation was deserved. About a little over a year ago, April, I'm sorry, some protesters decided that they wanted to make an issue of the bad kill rate that we had here. So, being the president of the board, I decided that I better look into it and find out what was going on. And I will never forget the very first day that the protesters showed up. We were looking through that window over there at the protesters standing out there, and I said to the people inside, those people out there love animals as much as we're supposed to love animals. And I said, they're going to make a difference here. So we basically, the bylaws of the board of directors states that the president of the board is also the CEO of the shelter. So what I did was I took absentee control of the board from the outside, and I set some new guidelines. Immediately, I stopped the euthanasia that was going on in the building. We have only now 2 criteria for animals that are being euthanized in the building, and that's one, if a veterinarian gives us this animal cannot be treated or will not respond to treatment, and they recommend that it be put down, then we would do that. Or a certified trainer tells me that that animal is too aggressive to put into your home, then that may be another reason. Since last April, our save rate has gone from 36% to 95%.
Wonderful. Tell me more about that. Tell me about the good things about this shelter.
All right. The good things about the shelter, the one thing that I can brag about all day long is my staff. They're fantastic. They took a beating during the protest, but it wasn't the staff. It was really the direction that was they were being led by. And I believe that the fact that now they're happy with the fact that I'm taking control. Nobody likes to watch animals being put down, okay? And the less we see of that, the happier we are in the shelter, and that includes the employees, the staff here. They don't like that. And so they were all very, very willing to change. When I came in July this year and actually took interim director position, I kind of thought at first that I might have some issues with the staff, but they're all willing to change, and they were ready for change. And so the good things are happening here. We have now changed our procedures as far as getting rescues involved with the animals. We have I just lost my train of thought.
All right. Go ahead and tell me about what's changed with the rescues and.
Okay, the rescues now, we keep in touch with the rescues, and what we do is when there's an animal that fits their criteria, then we give them a call. We tell them we have an animal that we'd like them to come in and look at and see if they can fit it into there. Because what they'll do most of the cases is they'll foster that animal to somebody that fits the mold for that particular animal. I have an example today. I have a rescue coming in to pick up an animal that has 3 medical waivers on it. You know, it has a skin condition, a heart murmur, and can't think of the third thing.
That's okay.
Anyway, it's got three medical, teeth. 3 medical waivers. They're coming in. They've got a foster all set up to take care of the medical issues with that animal. It's better for when an animal has a medical issue that if it's not living in a kennel, that it's living in an environment where it's got some love and some friendliness going on every day to it. So that's one of the things we're doing. One of the big things we did was when I was involved with the protester, Chief Shalid, the chief of police here, called myself and one of the protesters and gave us his office to meet in once a week. And we ironed out a lot of different things. So by June of last year, the protest had stopped and we were working in a direction. We kept those meetings going every week in his office, and that lasted until the end of the year. And then this beginning of the year, we met every other week in a restaurant where she and I spoke all the time, kept working on different new best practices. She introduced me to Debbie Shutt, which was one of the best things that happened to me because Michigan Pet Fund Alliance has been fantastic as far as what we've been getting done here. They advised us on a lot of things, and I have to admit, Debbie walked into my shelter the very first time I invited her in to take a look and see what we had, and she was happy about some things, and she like cringed at some other things, like when my cats and my dogs were too close together, and she pointed out to me that, you know, every time that dog barks, watch that cat. So that's what I was doing. So today we now have our dogs on one side of the building and our cats are now on the other side of the building. We used to have sanctuary animals here. Our sanctuary animals now, as I said, when I first took over as the interim director, I told the staff we need to make a decision. Either we're going to be a zoo or we're going to be a shelter. If we're going to be a shelter, then we need to get these animals that are living in a back room every day of their life and get them adopted, fostered, or whatever we have to do to get them out of the shelter. So within 3 weeks, we had homes for every one of the animals, all the birds, all the rabbits, the hairless cat, the pigeons and doves. They all went to rescue. And so we now have space available for the cats to move to the other side of the building. So now we have dogs on one side and cats on the other side.
Tell me how the Michigan